Welcome to another gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Have a seat by the fire as we prepare to help you unlock the secrets of the travel life. From theme park thrills to Purple Mountain's majesty, we want to see it all and do it all, and we want to help you do the same. We all have those bucket list trips, once-in-a-lifetime destinations that we'll get to someday. We're here to help you make your travel dreams a reality. Buy the ticket, take the trip. Where do you want to go?
Come on, now tell me what's on your bucket list. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day.
Don't touch that dial! We've been binging Disney Plus for a solid week now and wanted to share our new obsession with you. First, the travel news, including a nutty new hotel and life-size Godzilla encounter. Grab the popcorn and remote. It's time to Disney Plus and chill with the Gold Key Adventurer Society. All right, guys. Okay, guys, let's get this show on the road. Guys, are you listening to me? Hey, don't make me hide the remote. Am I invisible? Come on, let's get this show recorded so you can get back to binging your Disney movies. Let's start with the question that's become the standard greeting in this brave new post-Disney Plus world. What did you watch first?
I started with Steamboat Willie.
I did too.
Because I figured you had to start there. Yeah.
Sort of the same. I watched lots and lots of classic Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yep, I literally put on Steamboat Willie.
I came home to find my family watching Toy Story 3, and I made them watch classic Mickey also instead.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, they get to enjoy all of the Disney Plus time. I haven't really gotten to explore yet.
What, are you working for a living or something?
A little bit, yeah. That's my first mistake. Well then, I guess we should get to it. Talk about some travel news. What do we got going on this week?
Let's see. In theme park news, in Universal Orlando Resort's Endless Summer Resort, Dockside Inn and Suites. That's such a mouthful.
So many words.
Yeah, a lot of words. All of those words will be opening in March of 2020. So we had an announcement that their 8th hotel, which is the second part of the Endless Summer Resort, which is Surfside Inn and now Dockside Inn and Suites, will open on March 17th of 2020. It's going to be in their value category, and it's going to add 2,050 guest rooms to the hotel offerings already on property. And it's going to feature standard rooms, spacious 2-bedroom suites, which can sleep up to 6 people. And the rates are starting at $85 per night.
Is this the twin of the one that opened this year?
It is, yes. And I went to Surfside a little bit after it opened earlier this year, and it's a fun, cute little hotel. It's great for a value hotel. It's nice that they're finally adding something in that category. Mm-hmm. So
that's a bargain.
Even more value than Cabana Bay Beach.
Yes, it is, definitely.
So does flying stress you guys out?
Yes.
Not even a little.
Not even a little? Wow, that's unusual.
It depends on how many family members are bringing with me.
That's a good point. Well, quite a few airports across the United States have started introducing therapy animals that they have roaming around the gates to help people relax. One of those airports, the San Francisco International Airport, partnered with the San Francisco SPCA to create their WAG Brigade, a program that brings lots and lots of certified therapy animals to roam the terminals. And I just came across this story that not all of them are dogs. So 22 of the WAG Brigade animals are dogs, but the favorite of San Francisco airport passengers seems to be Lilu, who's a 5-year-old pig.
Ooh.
And the pictures of Lilu are absolutely adorable. She's on in a harness and on a leash, but she wears a little captain's hat. And she has a little vest that says "Pet Me," and she wanders the gates helping guests to calm down. They say, in addition to being hypoallergenic, Lilu can do tricks, including playing a toy piano,
What?
which I need to see this. It looks incredible. They have lots of dogs. I think I mentioned they have 22 dogs. They have George Yorkie, Jagger DeWagger, who is a golden doodle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrigley is a 150-pound noodle, which is a cross between a Newfoundland and a poodle.
Who asked for that?
That's a really good question. That's a big dog.
I would have called it a Poofendland.
I like that. I have been in an airport, our airport here in Grand Rapids. Occasionally they have a few therapy dogs that come around. Depends on the time of day that you're there. I've seen them when I've been flying through Chicago, but it's not super common, but I think it's a great idea.
I just want a pig.
No mini horses?
Oh.
I would like to see more. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. A mini horse would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I could brush its hair and braid it.
Feed it sugar cubes.
Tell it my secrets.
This article makes me want to fly through San Francisco so that I can meet Lilu, the therapy
Yeah,
pig,
I want a pig.
in her little captain's hat. It's so cute. And her hooves are painted red.
Stop
She's so
it.
pretty.
I'm getting you a pig.
Yes. I'm going to name it Hamlet
Yes.
or Kevin
Oh.
Bacon.
Captain Kevin Bacon.
Captain.
Yes.
Well, let's see, guys. So would you guys like to take a walk inside a life-size Godzilla attraction?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, well, you will soon get your wish, as a life-size Godzilla attraction is coming to I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize to any Japanese listeners. The Nijigen Nomori anime theme park on Aji Island in Japan.
Anime theme
Yeah, it's apparently
park.
an anime theme park.
I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, and so they're adding a life-size, gigantic Godzilla attraction. There's actually photos of it online. It looks like basically Godzilla fell down and is just kind of laying there with his mouth open, and apparently you go in through his mouth.
You go in his mouth.
You enter through his mouth, and then you're supposed to perform missions to keep him from escaping the bay. And one of the missions involves destroying his cells, which, yeah, that's really strange. But he measures 65 feet high, 82 feet wide, and 180 feet long. And yeah, it's
big. I'm kind of picturing like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the big dinosaur.
yeah, it's like that on steroids, it looks like. But
I want Pee-wee Herman to be there.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure you could get him. He's not doing a lot these days.
Oof. Just watching movies during the day.
He's collecting those fat DJ Rex.
That's what I was about to say. He's
paycheck.
DJing at the
Let me ask you
cantina.
guys a question, because most of us here have heard that. I don't think that's actually him on the new DJ Rex.
I read that he was coming back.
Wow, man, his voice has changed a lot because it just doesn't sound the same.
Well, he is a little bit older.
Overly processed.
Yeah, that
maybe?
might be it.
Yeah.
Or my childhood memories are failing me. So
It's not for sale, Francis.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
I'm trying to use the phone.
Let's just go watch that movie. We can do a commentary track.
Well, Dan, I have another entry into your weird and wacky hotels.
Perfect. Let's see if you picked the same one I did.
It might be. This is one that some chocolate lovers in my house are very excited about. Is this the one that you saw?
Yep, I found this one too.
There is a Nutella pop-up hotel coming for one weekend only. Nutella is opening its very own full-blown hazelnut spread themed hotel in Napa Valley, California for one weekend only in January of 2020. And they're calling it the Hotella Nutella.
Ooh.
Because naturally.
Of course. And it's designed to be the ultimate weekend breakfast destination. So they're not only tricking out these hotel rooms with Nutella wallpaper, bedspreads, rugs, the photo of the bed, they have two giant pillows shaped like croissants and then a big pillow shaped like a jar of Nutella. But apparently then they're also having some celebrity chefs come and cook Nutella-based breakfast items for you. They're having Iron Chef and Food Network celebrity judge Jeffrey Zakarian, a Top Chef contestant Tanya Holland, and the viral pancake artist Dan Cakes.
Oh, I know that guy.
Very
Is
cool.
this the
Yeah.
guy that does all the YouTube
Yeah,
videos?
he does like the frozen characters in
Yeah.
Matter.
And I think he did a series of Star Wars characters, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So the three chefs are going to showcase their skills using a fully Nutella stocked kitchen. And the only way you can't book this, it's a contest. So only 3 of Nutella's most dedicated fans and their guests will be chosen to eat, sleep, and breathe Nutella during this once in a lifetime experience. The weekend is going to be January 10th through the 12th, 2020. And in order to enter, you have to submit a short video explaining why you deserve to attend the Hotella Nutella. And if you win, Nutella will fly you and your guest out to the hotel, provide all the accommodations, round trip, ground transportation. And you can enter by visiting www.hotellanutella.com. And you have until midnight on Sunday, December the 8th.
Just everybody knows how to spell Hotella.
Apparently.
How many L's?
Okay, I'll spell it out. It's HOTELLA NUTELLA.
Just like it sounds.
Yeah.
And you get to go to Napa.
And take a nap.
In your Nutella themed bed with croissant pillows. Yeah, my son Owen's already working on his entry video.
It's just an hour of him eating Nutella in front of a camera.
Yes, this is why
My entry video will be me sitting in a bathtub filled with Nutella, just eating from around myself.
Ugh.
They'll be like, "Sir, you win. Just please stop sending those videos, please."
Put your pants on and turn off the video.
Well, Jeff's got his weekend planned.
It's not much different than his other weekends. So.
Yeah, I was going to do that anyway. I just have to fire up the old camcorder.
All right, well, I've got another hotel to share. You folks might remember way back around episode 3, 4, 5, one of Heather's first times with us. She told us about some igloos way up near the North Pole that were like $100,000 to go stay in.
they were on the North Pole. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you are okay with going a little bit farther south to the city of, this is going to be fun.
Come on, you can say it.
Ranuanjärvi.
Nailed it.
Which I believe that's Finland, right?
Sure.
Yes. The Arctic Fox igloos, they are a steal. For 2 people to stay there is only €500 a night.
Oh.
So much more affordable.
That's way more affordable than $100,000 a night.
Yeah. Yeah. So these igloos, a big glass dome for your bed, and then there's a little brick hut that has the sitting room, kitchenette, bathroom, and a tiny little sauna. Includes a double bed, bathroom with toilet and sauna, kitchenette, and table for 2. You even get an electric water boiler and a microwave. Breakfast is included in the price. I mean, basically, you're going to lay in your bed and stare out over the frozen lake during the day and at the northern lights at night.
And what city did you say that was in, Dan?
Ranuanjärvi. Oh, and the €500 per night for 2 people, that was for the high season, the winter months. If you're okay with going in summertime, it's wicked cheap. It's for 2 people, it's only €150 a night.
Oh, that is a bargain.
Cheaper hotels in Ranja.
Yeah, probably for June, July, and August. So save yourself a few pennies and
I expect
and head
that
out
in, but not in.
Ranuanjärvi. Ranuanjärvi.
You can Spencerflurker prices there.
And there goes our Icelandic listener base.
And this is why I let Dan do that piece. I did not want to have to say that word.
I'm sure my accent is excellent. Spot on.
Spot on. Yeah.
Oh.
So this piece of news that I saw made me laugh. The headline is "Man loses frequent flyer status for smuggling very fat cat onto a plane."
I have not seen my cat in a week.
Uh-oh.
She must be in Russia. So it was a Russian man. He had his frequent flyer status revoked after he smuggled his very fat cat, Victor, onto a flight. It says that he was flying from Riga to Vladivostok and he had a layover in Moscow. And he made it the first leg of his flight just fine. Although he says Victor was not very pleased to be in the air. He was sick and did not understand what was happening.
He's a cat.
But when he's a cat. When they got to Moscow, when they tried to board the second leg of the flight, he was told that the cat was going to have to go into the luggage hold for the next flight because he was too fat to ride in the cabin.
What? Is there a cat weight limit in the cabin?
And I can't figure out why it would matter whether the cat was in the luggage hold or the cabin. He's still going to be on the plane. So why does it matter?
Still taking up the same amount of space on the plane.
But somehow, and I don't quite understand the logistics of this. Somehow he managed to find an understudy cat that he swapped out at security. And then when he got to the gate, he swapped his cat back into the carrier and managed to get on the plane.
What happened to it afterwards?
I don't know where he found this other cat. But he got
an understudy cat? Is this like a cat performance of How to Airport? What's happening?
It's my time to shine. Meow.
Apparently he managed to find somebody else who had a cat that let him borrow their cat. It says that he made the mistake of publicly posting on Facebook about what happened, and the airline saw it and revoked his frequent flyer miles. It's just so ridiculous. But my favorite part is the article has a photo of his from Instagram that shows the cat in its carrier. They're in his seat and he's got a glass of champagne and he's toasting to the fact that he snuck his fat cat onto the plane.
Not so fast.
But it seems that Victor did make it all the way to Vladivostok, Russia.
He should have stopped by Friend and stayed in the hotel.
Yes, I bet they wouldn't have banned his very fat cat.
There's no cat weight limit there.
So that's our don't try it tip for this week. Don't try to smuggle your fat cat onto the plane.
Skinny cat's fine.
Yes.
Why do we have to body shame the cats?
Exactly. It's an outrage.
It's not okay. This is 2019.
Justice for the fat cats.
Jess, you got anything else from the theme park side of things?
Yeah, actually, they are getting ready to auction off more than 1,500 rare items from Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Yes, so the Van Eaton Galleries in Los Angeles will start auctioning iconic Disney Parks items beginning on December 7th. Yes, these are some amazing items.
There's some tiki birds?
Yeah, there are functioning tiki birds.
No way.
The original 1953 prospectus that Walt Disney used to pitch to financiers ahead of the Disneyland opening, an original map of Disneyland, the working animatronic birds, a bronze statue of Mickey Mouse, and an It's a Small World animatronic doll. So,
wow.
So it's actually some pretty impressive stuff. There's some
great.
few photos and videos of it online, and
I need a tiki bird.
yeah, they have, and they work. There's video of them just sitting in a box working, and yeah, I don't have any room in my office, but I
bet that'll be cheap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't wait to hear about this.
I think Jeff just volunteered to buy me a tiki bird for my birthday.
I was about to say, it sounds like it.
Generous.
Yeah.
A working real tiki bird.
A working real tiki bird from Disneyland.
Is there somewhere to find that?
If you listen
on December
listen to
7th.
the Gold Key Adventure Society podcast, they actually talk about
Episode
it.
15.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
You should. Sit through the whole thing this time, okay?
That hurts. Like our listeners, I have trouble sitting through the whole thing.
Oh, that's what you think. They all listen in the bathroom.
That's true.
It's a good way to
You got
end.
anything else out there?
The last thing I had this week is that the Hard Rock Hotel that was that partially collapsed in New Orleans while it was under construction. They have decided that it will be completely demolished, and currently there are no plans to rebuild, unfortunately. So no Hard Rock Hotel in New Orleans for the foreseeable future.
I smell insurance fraud.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the photos and videos of the collapse? It was just
It's terrifying. I can't
horrific.
believe it wasn't worse than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. And so they're going to have to very carefully implode the rest of it and pull it all down. They say it's going to take at least 9 weeks to demolish and then another 3 months to remove all the debris.
Jeez.
And unfortunately, that's going to stretch right into the busy tourist season in New Orleans, including New Year's, Sugar Bowl, Mardi Gras. All of that is going to be going on while they're trying to clear all the debris out.
Was that hotel being built or being remodeled when that
It
happened?
was being built. Yeah.
Oof.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big loss on that one.
I was just glad it wasn't the Guitar Hotel.
Yes. Yeah, it says that the collapse damaged the 2 cranes that were working on it, and it also was it caused some damage to the historic surrounding buildings. So,
Well, this way they don't have to tear it down when it's half covered by ocean water in about 12 years. So,
well, there you go. Bright
Yeah.
side.
silver linings.
That's a feel good.
Mr. Sunshine.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. Well, let's. We're gonna take a.
What country is that from?
That's from Randy Well, all right. Well, we're gonna have a discussion about. We're gonna.
Oh, we're gonna do it.
What are we gonna do, Dan?
You're gonna
It's gonna
see.
be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Coming up next, we're going to talk all about the brand new Disney Plus streaming video platform. But first, a word from our sponsors.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World Travel Vacation Planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. It's after midnight and time for a caper. You're in a dark hallway, dressed all in black, huddled around the door of a gigantic vault. Hurry up, Jess says. I've waited long enough to watch Flight of the Navigator. Heather has a stethoscope up against the door, patiently turning the huge dial. Jeff says, that's enough. I brought dynamite. Let's blow the sucker open. It's at this point that I casually stroll around the corner. Guys, I told you, you don't have to go through all this trouble. They rolled out Disney Plus last week. There's nothing left in the vault. Well, there's a few things left in the vault, but
RFQ.
Yeah. There are some things that they did not launch.
they got to make sure that you stay subscribed.
Yes.
So
I discovered that, so they released that list of every single thing they were going to have. And I looked at it and was super excited by so many things, and then found out that they have Dick Tracy on that list, the Warren Beatty film from the 80s. It's not on the service, though.
Maybe it's yet to come, because I was the same with Something Wicked This Way Comes was on there, and it's not, I can't find it.
Yeah.
Curious.
I think the list that they put out was like stuff that will be out this year. Maybe they're just doling them out a little at a time, which is smart.
Yeah, maybe they were working out rights with, I mean, maybe if those are on Stars, I think they're still working out getting their movies back from Stars.
Yeah, because there's certain titles where you'll click on it and it'll even say like this will be available on, December 26th or something like that.
My wife said she saw some that said they would be available November 2020. So they've planned way far out.
Yeah.
She's really been digging through the content. So how many hours have you all spent watching Disney Plus thus far? I wasted the entire day. Not wasted, researched the entire day yesterday.
I've only spent slightly more time than it took me to try to get it to work at launch. I was one of the folks that it didn't work for a while.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah. I mean, it works beautifully now. So, and I get it. They had 10 million people sign up just that day alone.
After one day, they had 2 million at launch. And by the end of the day, they have 10 million subscribers.
Yeah, so
it's just incredible.
I get it.
That's prediction for a year, which I don't know why anybody thought that.
It's been really worth it for me. I've found so many things and I've read over that list a few times, but I'm finding stuff that I don't remember seeing on the list and stuff I forgot, just had completely forgotten about it and keep finding great stuff.
There were some nice surprises on there for sure. I didn't remember seeing the original Mickey Mouse Club on that list. I was surprised to see that last night. That's pretty cool.
And I have been trying to find old Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy and Chip and Dale, those cartoons for years and years. And you just couldn't get them anywhere. For any amount of money, I couldn't find them. And my watch list is ridiculous. It's just so many cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
They even have Humphrey the Bear.
Yes. And I keep finding stuff. I'll find I think the first one I watched was Mr. Mouse Takes a Trip.
Oh, yeah. On the train.
And yes.
Is that what section are you finding that in? Throwback?
So my favorite place to start looking is if you go into search and you don't type anything into the search bar, it brings up all of these different suggested categories. And the one I found that I can't stay out of is Disney through the decades.
Yes. Yep.
And as you scroll through it, it goes all the way back to Steamboat Willie in the 20s. And then it's the 40s and the 50s. And then they just have titles from every decade. And that's where I started finding this great stuff that I hadn't even thought that I'd be able to find. And now it's all there.
Yeah. I do have one thing I wish for with all the shorts, though. They had Netflix. They had them packaged into collections of 5 or 6 related ones that would play straight through. It's a little annoying having to start a new one after the first one finished.
Yeah, I think Netflix based them on because those shorts, they released those on DVD in collections.
Yep.
And I think that's how they were packaged on Netflix, was how they were on the DVD.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's going to learn my tastes and start serving stuff up to me like Netflix does, or if it'll always stay in their little categories that they launched with.
I thought I read that they were going to have some machine learning that would do that. Yeah.
I'd almost rather they didn't, so that I can actually find interesting stuff. Yeah.
So what have you found from the treasure trove that you weren't expecting or you really wanted and you found it?
I watched the opening few minutes of the Muppet movie today just so I could see and hear Rainbow Connection. So
yes.
I listen to that song a lot and I always love it, but I just was like, I'm watching the whole intro, and when he goes and meets Fozzie and waka, waka, waka. It's just the opening part of that when they're building their little crew there to head out on the road.
Yes.
It's amazing. But there's so much.
Yeah.
I watched 20 minutes of this and 30 minutes of that.
I'm really excited about some of the older, especially some of the weird 50s, 60s live action movies.
Yes, so many good
I'm
ones.
so happy that I can watch The Ugly Dachshund whenever I want to, because man, I love that movie.
I forgot all about that movie.
I've been waiting for an HD cut of The Biscuit Eater for so long now.
I love the Kurt Russell era ones, like the Computer War
trilogy.
Mhm.
The Medford trilogy.
The Cat from Outer Space was at the top of my watch list too.
Did you watch it yet?
I did, yes.
Does it hold up?
That was a big favorite.
I think it does. I still love it. I'm looking for glowy collars for my cats and hoping that maybe they'll talk.
Last night, Kendra says, "Why are there so many Shaggy Dog movies?" There's 6 of them.
Yes.
I need to dig a little deeper. I hadn't come across that yet. I was excited to see the black hole on there, and that made me think about all the dark Disney movies of the, I guess, from about 79 to 83. But that's the only one I found. No Watcher in the Woods or
Escape to Witch Mountain is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did find that
And
one.
Return from.
do they have the remake, the rock version?
Yes, they do. Race
yeah,
to Witch
Race to.
Mountain? Yes.
Yep.
You guys will be happy to know that Haunted Mansion is available.
Did you watch it, Jess?
Oh yeah, I put that on right away.
Oh, good. Did you watch it all the way to the end so you could see the end?
Yeah,
this
no, I
time?
just skipped straight to the end so I could be like, yep, it's horrible. There we go. We're good.
Can we get a little taste of Jess as Jennifer Tilly as
We need a reprise.
spiders, tail of a rat.
There you go. You got to record that and put it on
We're gonna have
a
a
soundboard
watch.
or something.
Yeah,
Ringtone.
we're gonna have a watch party of that movie. I think.
saying, after the message, we'll be right back.
I was also excited to find the True Life Adventures documentaries.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Mhm.
ever see those?
Mhm.
I had forgotten about those and was excited to find them. And so today I watched Jungle Cats.
I love those. I like all the new. I watched Chimpanzee yesterday. All the newer Disney nature.
Oh, yes.
They're just so beautiful. And I was putting some stuff together in my office and just kind of put that on as background beautifulness. I guess the word would be beauty.
Yes. You really can't beat the photography in those. The True Life Adventures old documentaries don't stand up to the beauty of the Disney nature films, but they're the old school wildlife documentaries they just
Love the
make me
announcers
smile.
on those. They're like the same announcer from the Goofy How To movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this old bear's found himself some honey.
Which one is the one where they completely manufactured the modern idea of lemmings jumping off a cliff?
Oh, I don't know which one that is, but I want to watch it now.
Yeah, they set up a little fake cliff and drove them off of it, and it's yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And we've been watching all of the new Mickey Mouse cartoons, and I do love those, although Goofy bothers me.
Goofy's a crackhead.
Yes. Goofy looks like he has a meth problem.
He looks like my old standby Halloween costume of the hobo.
Yes, that's true. He is a definite hobo dog. I love also all of the Chip and Dale cartoons where they harass Donald or Pluto or vice versa.
Yep.
Those are so much fun.
Those are good. Has anyone watched Rescue Rangers yet?
Yes.
I watched Little Darkwing Duck yesterday.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm really excited about. And Gummy Bears.
Apparently, Gargoyles is now trending online because people have been waiting to watch that show again.
I totally forgot about that show.
Yeah, that's a good one. That one in Tailspin.
Yeah, all of those were slightly past when I should be watching them, but I was like 22 and would get home from work at a restaurant and watch that afternoon lineup. Like, I shouldn't really be watching this, but I did.
It's entertaining.
My
Life
God.
was simpler when all you had to worry about was getting home in time for the Disney afternoon.
I think I was not their target demo, but I was watching a little of it anyway.
Did everybody watch the Imagineering story?
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's just the footage they pulled from the archives is just, it's beyond incredible. And I'm super excited for what else they're going to do with that show.
Even if it's clips that we've seen before on YouTube or wherever, I've never seen them restored to this level.
Good point. Yeah,
It's like stuff from obviously the 50s and 60s, and it just looks gorgeous.
it really does.
I began watching it on my computer. Yeah. And when I realized just how cleaned up all the footage was, I had to stop it and watch it on my television because I was like, I have to see how good it is. Yeah.
I'd really like to see them put out, more of the Walt Disney Presents Wonderful World of Color and some of those live from Disneyland
definitely.
specials they did. That's why
Yeah.
I was really happy to see Disneyland around the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a little tough to watch because it's like right at the end of his life. It was released 3 days after he died.
Yeah, that's what got me about the Imagineering story is the last what, maybe 10, 15 minutes of it is those when they're talking about the building of Walt Disney World and it's the end of his life. And some of the footage they have is some that I'd never heard before of actually Walt talking about the end of his life.
Yeah.
And,
During that time after the old man.
and then all of the interviews with the Imagineers and talking about his death and what it meant to them. And they're all crying. And I was sobbing by the end of it.
Yeah, that footage from Disneyland the day he died, when you can see the cast members crying. I don't think I've ever seen that. And I don't know if they've ever released it or it's not something obviously that they play a lot, but like that hit me. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And they had footage of them lowering the flag. Yeah. It's incredible it makes you realize how much they have in the archives.
Yeah.
And there's probably so much stuff that we've never seen. You know, well, Walt was a filmmaker, so he filmed everything.
So forward thinking of them to start capturing and restoring and just archiving everything.
And did you guys know that the series is directed by Ub Iwerk's granddaughter?
Yes.
I was wondering who that was.
I didn't know that.
Iwerk's name, but I didn't know who that was.
I saw the name and I was like, that can't be a coincidence, and looked it up, and yeah, she's his granddaughter.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that his son, I guess, her father was also worked at Disney.
Yeah, he was like,
there's a good bit of interviews with him in that first episode of the Imagineering story.
There's a lot of talented dead people in this thing. It's sad to see. You're like, wow, so much talent that has come and gone through there. And there's
all
so
the
many
footage with Marty Sklar.
yeah.
Our good friend Marty Sklar.
It makes me want to put Bob Gurr in like a Ziploc bag so that we can like preserve him and keep him.
Oh,
like when he signed,
lost it. Yes.
Yeah, when he signed his name, that got me really hard. 'Cause you could just see on his face like that it meant a lot to him, but he didn't want to say it. So that
because he said, "Oh no, the people who have signed it, it's been the people who have worked here, and I never worked here in the park."
Yeah.
But you designed it. Maybe we should let you sign it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. More of that.
Yeah, do we know how many episodes it's going to be?
I finally found out that these shows that they're releasing weekly are all supposed to be released on Fridays. So we will get new episodes
that's good.
every Friday.
My house has been clamoring, when are we going to get to watch the second episode of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they've announced they announced every episode of The Mandalorian, but it took me till today to find the actual info for the rest of the shows. I would think that would be like plastered on everything.
So does that mean that there are new ones coming out this Friday, or do we have to wait till next Friday?
No, it is this Friday.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, so we get new Mandalorian, new Jeff Goldblum, all of them this Friday.
We all watched Jeff Goldblum tonight while we were eating dinner.
Oh, it's so good.
It's good.
Delightfully awkward.
He is a delight.
That portion where he's the guy's analyzing his gait.
Oh yeah, the bopper.
He tells him it's a bopper or something, and then he just turns and stares at him for.
And then refers to him after that as my new nemesis.
Yes. Just cracked me up. I don't know why I found that so funny, but it killed me.
I really need to quit my day job.
Or stream it on your phone, man.
Yeah, that sounds safe. Run a crank. Watch.
Yeah. Okay.
That might
Probably
be
shouldn't.
What could go wrong?
We get some glasses, a heads-up display.
Yeah, that's all you need.
What was the one thing you were really looking forward to? And have you watched it yet?
The Rocketeer, and yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, The Rocketeer. That's funny because I just brought that up last week talking about the helmet. And I was like, I should watch that movie. And I thought I had it on DVD or Blu-ray, but I do not. So I'm glad that it's on. I haven't seen it in a few years. I planned to watch, and I hoped I would watch it today, but I got there's so much there, you get sidetracked easy. But I want to see Black Hole.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did that freak you out when you watched it when you were a kid?
It did to me, yeah.
No.
That robot.
I loved it.
What was it? Oh
my gosh, it's been so long since.
I just thought of it earlier, and I
used to watch it when they showed it on HBO in the 80s.
Yes, I can't remember. I need to
watch
watch
it. Dragon Slayer was Disney.
No, that was Don Bluth, I think.
No, not that game.
Oh.
Dragon's Lair, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Something like that. Vincent was the black hole robot.
Robot.
Yes, he's the robot.
This is a robot.
The merry-go-round.
That reminds me of Black Cauldron, which is on here.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of movies that freaked me out when I was a kid, Return to Oz. Did you guys ever see that one?
I was going to talk about that one. I love that
one
movie.
Is so good.
Oh, it's so good. So with the wheelers. Oh man, those guys are cool.
I remember I went to the parks right after that came out with my family, and they had one of the displays where they had props from the movie. And so they had like the witch's dress, the one that had like the hallway full of faces. And so they had like some of the faces. And yeah, it's still like burned in my brain because that totally freaked me out. Just people's faces on.
It's really one of the deeply creepiest, weirdest movies.
I was explaining it to Kendra last night, and she's like, just like, what is this movie? Why did they make that? I was like, so it starts out and she's getting electroshock therapy because no one believes her that she went to Oz, and
she's like, Disney made this?
What? Why?
Mid-80s, late 80s?
Yeah.
1985.
Mid.
I just pulled it up to put it on my watch list. And in the suggestions, I just found Willow. Totally forgot about Willow.
Oh, yeah. Willow is on my list of movies to talk about.
That's going on the watch list.
I didn't know that was. Was that Disney?
It was Lucas.
That was the next thing I was going to ask was, have you guys found anything on here that you had no idea would be here because you didn't realize it was now under the Disney umbrella?
The Simpsons.
Yep. Yeah. The Simpsons. My son was like, what? All of the seasons of The Simpsons are on here? Yes, sir.
Yeah, but they stretched them and now they don't look.
Oh, what? Really? What? I'm not familiar.
They're in the wrong aspect ratio.
Oh.
So the tops and bottoms get cut off, and there's a lot of visual gags that you miss because you don't see the whole frame.
Oh.
They should black box them. I don't
That's
know why
weird.
they would do that.
Yeah, it's something they started doing for reruns a while ago now. But yeah, now they apparently people are flipping out because that's like a completely like new version of Star Wars where you get like an extra line out of Greedo before.
Oh, this is the controversy today. Yeah.
Before Han shoots first. Yeah.
No. Somebody freeze framed it and they adjusted so that they shoot simultaneously
at the same time. And that was I read an article about that today. That was intentional. Lucas made them allow him to edit that scene yet again.
And they made the blaster flare bigger so that you didn't see the really bad mannequin fall down and hit the table.
Yeah, it's just,
I swear I'll get it right this time.
Part of me understands that he's trying to tell us this was how I wanted it from the beginning, but that's not the way that movie was released. And unless you owned original copies, you can't find the original cuts anymore.
No. I have VHS copies of them with the original transfers, but yeah, that's all you can get.
Unscrupulous people can find some really good looking cuts of them that
Oh, nice to hear. I just that whole third version of the Han and Greedo scene that just it made me laugh and roll my eyes at the same time. It is so great to have it all in one place and able to stream though. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I watched The Empire Strikes Back today while I was watching, just because I could, or while I was working. While I was working, I put it on in the background and just enjoyed having some Star Wars today.
So, did you watch The Mandalorian?
Yes, immediately as soon as I got it working.
And what did you think?
I loved it, actually. Yeah.
We're not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I won't spoil it.
I will say it's a total exact space western. Yes. The music sounds like
music and the filming style. Yeah, the camera shots, the camera angles. Yeah, and I mean the production values on this thing are insane. They've spent a few dollars.
Has to have cost at least 40 to 50.
Could be 100.
Space credits. They're called space credits.
And I'm ready for the next episode. Yeah. The original content that they've got is I'm impressed with it so far. And I'm looking forward to more.
I'm surprised at how many things that they announced that they were doing that aren't full length episodes. So the Pixar in Real Life, that show that they had announced, I assumed that was going to be like a 30-minute show. It's like 6 minutes.
Did you watch the first one?
And I
refresh your on.
Did you watch
What's
the
that?
first one?
I didn't watch it yet. No, I was clicking through to look at it and I saw that it was like 6 minutes.
I have
and so
to say, you probably wouldn't have
said I'd go
wanted to
back.
see 30 minutes of it.
Oh, really? I just figured it would be like little things kind of strung together. I guess they're just
The first
breaking it
one
up.
is
What is it?
it's Inside Out, and they put that control panel thing from the movie in a park, and they just let people sort of discover it and start playing with it, and then they would have actors come out and start reacting to what, if somebody pushed the angry button, the actors would start arguing with each other. And it's cute, but you wouldn't want to watch this for 30 minutes. That is for sure.
It's the kind of thing they have on the Disney
Yeah.
Channel when the show is
Exactly.
about 3 minutes too short and they need to pad it out.
Definitely. It's only 6 minutes long, and I didn't make it through all 6 minutes.
Or too many.
But I think they can do some cute things with that. I'd like to see the real life Wally wandering around. That looks cute. Yeah.
How about the Sister Act movies? Who's excited?
And
Did
we
you
watched
really?
that. We watched Sister Act 2 last night.
Everybody seems to like number 2.
Yeah.
better.
It's because she's back
It's
in the
that
habit.
song at the end, man.
It's pretty hard to have it to break.
Along those same cheesy lines, I am excited about the fact that I now have access to all 3 of the horribly cheesy Tim Allen Santa Claus
Yes.
movies.
Oh,
I love
do
those. So,
I'm embarrassed, but I'm glad you said it first.
I have them on DVD, but I hate it because they're not the right format. See, back to that again.
Meaning what? They're
Actually made to fit old size square televisions.
Oh, yeah.
So it's made to be stretched to or cut to fit one of those. So it's
So you like them uncut.
speaking of things that need to get cut. That whole portion.
But your mother-in-law doesn't listen.
Is there an era or a genre of things that you're most excited about on here? Like, I don't know, like the throwback stuff, Disney Channel era, or what excites you guys the most?
High School Musical, the series.
No, it's High School Musical, the musical, the
Right.
series.
Sorry.
Musical series.
Wow. It seems like one
Yeah.
too many musicals.
It's complicated. I'm really excited for the late 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
all the
Mhm.
cartoons, the original DuckTales
Yeah,
and
I do
Darkwing
love
Duck
the new
and Gummy
DuckTales, but
Bears and those
you can't
guys.
beat the classic.
What's the airplane one?
Yeah.
What is it?
Tailspin.
Tailspin.
Yeah.
Tailspin.
Tailspin. Doo-doo.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that one.
Doo-doo.
Did anybody watch Lady in
Yeah.
the Tramp?
The new one?
Mhm.
No.
I watched it today for research purposes. I
Mhm.
don't understand what the point of it is.
There's no purpose, just like all of those
All
awful
the
live action remakes.
stuff. They're
Right.
fine movies. They're okay. They're
And
just
some
not
of it was
necessary.
super cute. I mean, the dog's cute. The little scene where they eat the spaghetti and the meatballs is cute. But I've just the whole time was thinking, I don't get it. I don't know why is this a thing?
That's such a beautifully done and handcrafted movie
Yes.
to begin with. There's just no reason to do a straight to video live action garbage
No,
version.
I
of it.
didn't. That wasn't one of my favorite things.
You got to wonder how many times are they going to make those and have them be absolute flops before they actually give up?
Mhm.
Because they just keep on
Yeah,
going
they're doing
full
fine.
speed.
Yeah, they don't flop. Though. That Aladdin movie made a gazillion dollars.
It really did.
Yeah, but nobody liked it afterwards. Everybody went to see it because they were like, "Oh, we gotta go see
Yeah.
Aladdin," and then
But the
who
receipts
cares?
were still
Instead,
there.
they're
So
Yeah, that's true.
oh, this
Like it.
disappointment
Yeah.
money doesn't spend like regular money. Darn.
like, yeah, but
A
eventually
lot of
they're
people
gonna
I know
dry
actually
out.
like
I've talked to a
Aladdin.
lot of people who
One-
liked it. Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Even our Tom Hanks hater liked it.
Maybe that's why. Because there's something wrong with her brain.
She like Will Smith but hate Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
She
Go
hates Tom
figure.
Hanks and the Muppets, but she liked Aladdin live action.
Boo, Aaron, boo.
She is fired. I can't wait to watch The Great Muppet
Oh
Caper.
yeah.
That's my favorite of the
all the
Muppet
Muppet
movies.
movies.
Who doesn't need more Charles Grodin in their life?
I'd love to see.
That one actually had a plot.
I'd love to see all of the original Muppet Show.
Why? Yeah, I like that they have the newer
Yeah, that would be
version of the
nice.
Muppet Show on there, but they don't have the original Muppet Show.
And they don't have the original Muppet Babies either.
Oh, I love the Muppet Babies. So
When your world looks
It's
kind
actually a
of
pretty
weird.
good show when they like went into
was
Star
the original
Wars.
Muppet Show? I think that was on NBC.
Oh, was
Not
it?
It's amazing that you know
Maybe
that.
they didn't get that in the deal. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
It's easier to keep track when there was only like 3 channels.
3 channels.
I love that if you're scrolling on the homepage and you come to the category hit movies, the very first one is Avatar.
Remember? Please
seems
remember.
A little self-serving.
I'll send
I
them
hope
to
you
you.
remember this because we got 5 more in the next 30 years.
Yeah, someday.
So my son, who's 17, was looking through there today, and he was so genuinely excited to see that all of Phineas and Ferb was going to be there for him to start.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Mine too.
Yeah. And there's some series where they apparently did a talk show where they talked to live actors. Did anybody know this existed?
Is that on here?
Yeah. And it's not new. It's something they did like a few years ago.
Like a Space Ghost Coast to Coast kind of thing?
Yes.
I found out flipping through the service that Phineas and Ferb did a whole special where they teamed up with the Avengers.
Yes, that was a great episode.
Yeah,
I missed that completely.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. There's also a
Yep.
2-part Star Wars one. Have you seen that one?
Oh, look it up,
Oh,
Jess.
that
You would
one's
love
good.
that one too. Yes. We're
Yes.
also
Yeah,
watching,
it's good.
rewatching all of Gravity Falls here in our house. That's
Oh,
a
that's a
favorite of
good one.
ours.
I should try that. I saw a couple of episodes of that on a plane and I
It's
loved
so
it, but
killer.
mine was quote, too old for it then. So I bet he would like
yeah,
it.
maybe now he could get into it as like a throwback thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is ironically
Yes.
cool now. That's why you're playing Minecraft again. It's
Yeah.
It's not because we're clinging to childhood
That's right.
before we're kicked out of the house for.
Yeah, the shorts have always been some of my favorites, and I watched Kit Bull. Did you guys see this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's my new
adorable.
favorite thing. There's a little kitty cat and a pit bull that's been mistreated.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh,
was
it's
cute.
heartbreaking and uplifting at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, that was one of those sparkle
Mhm.
shorts.
Spark shorts, yeah.
Yeah, that one and the one where the ball of yarn is the first woman to show up in the all male.
Pearl?
Oh,
Yeah. Pearl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
I like that one.
It's amazing how much a message put in something so deceptively simple like those
Mhm.
shorts. The bow one where it's
Or
she's
eats,
she's
yes.
eating her son essentially.
She eats the dumpling.
She misses him because he's her little dumpling. That one made
Oh.
me cry. My baby.
Turner and Hooch. How can we forget about this classic piece of film?
That was one I saw that I was.
Is
it
that-
took me a second to realize
That is
that
a
belonged
Tom
there.
Hanks
Why
film.
is that there?
Is that a Fox film?
What's that?
Yeah.
It must be.
Must be Fox.
Or one
yeah.
of their other labels.
Or is Joe versus the volcano?
Ooh, I'd watch that.
Oh,
Love that.
that's a great one. Let's search here.
But we need you to listen to this podcast, not go searching for these movies and watching
That's
them.
true. That's a good point. No Joe versus the
I
volcano yet, if at all.
I watched Free Solo again today, and I watched it on the big screen. I had only seen it on an airplane before. Have you guys seen that
Mhm.
movie?
Yeah.
I thought it was about breaking Han Solo out of jail, but no, it's about food climbing.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
That's an amazing movie. I
Terrifying.
didn't know the outcome and was terrified. And then watching it on my big old TV.
The
was
first
good.
time I saw it, I thought for sure that guy was going to die. We
You
don't
never know,
You
he
gotta watch
might.
it.
What about Newsies?
What about? Oh
Newsies is
yes,
always-
great show.
Yes.
No.
No,
You guys
I was at
into
the
Newsies?
time. I haven't watched it since then, but
I think I was too old. I should watch it. I like music.
Right?
it's going to be like archery. You're going to love it.
If our AVD episode is any indicator,
yes. Yeah.
it'll be right up your alley.
Did everybody watch Forky Asks a
I did not.
Question?
No. What the fuck is that about?
Cute. It's really cute. And it's very short. It's basically a Pixar short. It's maybe 3 minutes long. And it's just this was the first one they released is What is Money? And Ham teaches Forky what money is. It's ridiculous, but it's so cute.
I loved Forky. Everybody was kind of complaining about it before that movie came out, but he's one of my favorite parts of Toy Story 16.
I think people were prepared to hate him. And how can you hate him?
Trash.
I love
No, I
Forky.
I loved that movie too.
I am trash. Forky.
What do you guys think about the decision to lay the episodes out weekly instead of in this new binge era? Are they making a mistake? Because my son is outraged because he's so used to this. I'm going to watch everything now. I think it's fine.
It's good for you.
I actually don't prefer to binge watch stuff. But what do you guys think that was a wise or poor decision?
I don't know.
I was a little surprised by it. Yeah.
People are buying it either way, and I'm fine with having to wait
There's
for things.
so much other content on here
that's
that
the
I
world we're
forgot
used to.
to be upset that I could only watch one Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because I just started watching something
Well,
else.
yeah, because if I watch 6 years of DuckTales straight through, I'm never going to get around to all the weird old 1950s movies and stuff. So when am I ever going to watch Davy Crockett and the River Pirates?
We were scrolling through stuff last night, and my son was like, Davy Crockett.
Davy!
I mean, I've heard the song. That's a movie. And then he's like, there's more than one?
And a series,
yeah.
right?
He was the biggest star in the world for when that
Yeah.
came
He
out.
would tour the malls and stuff. I guess that was before malls. He would tour department stores.
Yeah. Sears.
Show him a picture of those boys in the 50s with their coonskin cap haircuts.
Wait, was that
What?
a haircut?
It was a haircut?
Yeah, they would get their hair like when you get your baseball numbers shaved into the back, but they would get it cut to look like a little.
That's like the
raccoon tail.
ultimate mullet.
It's a proto rat tail.
Yeah.
Wearing coonskin cap, and you thought it was hair?
No, that was the thing. I mean, they were also really into wearing coonskin caps, but no, there was a haircut.
That's kind of fun. You could have that haircut and wear the coonskin cap. When you pull it off, it looks the exact same. I don't know where your hat
really
stops and
confuse
you
people.
begin.
Oh, so many great throwback shows from the Disney Channel. Who's going to go watch Hannah Montana and the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
I was a big Sweet Life fan.
Me too. I'm
I like
embarrassed to
Sweet
admit
Life on
that,
deck
but
too.
yes, I forgot about that.
I was honestly hoping that they'd have the Mickey Mouse Club that they did in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, is that the one
Yeah,
with
Justin
Britney
Timberlake
Spears and
I watched that when I was a kid. Like, I loved it.
And one of the new kids was on there too. And Kids
yeah.
Incorporated.
Oh,
Who remembers
yeah,
Kids
absolutely.
Incorporated?
Yeah, Fergie.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And Martika.
Fergie was on that one.
Fergie was on
Mhm.
that.
She was the
really?
little blonde girl, like the tiniest
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Oh.
They took an old movie, like an old theater, and converted it into like a
Yes.
kids nightclub, and they would do song and dance numbers on stage.
She's the one that had the lovely lady lumps.
Oh,
Yeah. Way back then. When that knock you hear on your door is the FBI, and they'd like to ask you some questions, Jeff.
Oh no!
Views expressed by Jeff do not reflect those of the.
Thank you. Did anybody
Yes.
watch Encore?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
Kristen Bell?
Surprisingly deep. I thought it was just going to be a goof where they.
Mhm.
The premise of it, for anyone that hasn't seen it, is they get High School Musical casts back together. Some of them, apparently, according to her, will be from 20 years ago, and some of them just saw each other 4 or 5 years. They get the cast back together to redo their high school musicals with professional directors and stage crafters and all that. But the acting is still bad.
And the singing.
That first episode was great.
Yeah.
It was what was it like? How long
It was
had
from
been? 20 years or
1996. So, yeah.
20 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was surprisingly deep when they all got together and realized they had a lot of the same connections and fears and failures and all that. It was good. A lot of bad singing.
Yeah. They tried, though.
Did any of you people do High School Musicals?
I did high school theater, but I didn't do any
I
musical.
did theater. Yeah.
I did.
We only had one musical because then the funding in our district was cut for music. And so we went to just doing
Yep.
plays.
Yeah, we did plays. I don't recall us actually even doing a musical at my school.
The one musical that we did was actually, strangely enough, a musical based on Kids Incorporated. And it was
Wow.
it was in 7th
Amazing.
grade. I still
I
have the
wanna
show
see that.
T-shirt.
You
from
played
that.
Fergie
That's
Ford,
awesome.
right?
Yes, that was me.
Little lady lumps.
Ew.
I'm uncomfortable. I never acted. I played in the pit band for Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh, cool.
Played saxophone for that.
Nice,
so
the saxophone.
Can you play Yakety Sax? Could you do that for us before
love
next
it.
Close out the show.
Before next week, yeah.
I have to find my saxophone first, but yeah, I'll totally.
Can you play Careless
yes,
Whispers?
I will do that.
Oh, bro.
If you play saxophone and you don't play Careless
nobody-
Whispers, you need your saxophone card revoked if that's something you have, but they need to take that back.
I don't. I used to know the sax solo from the original version of Baker Street.
Oh, that's okay. That's an acceptable second. Yeah.
Yes.
Tequila. That was my big solo spot in live shows. I got to play Tequila.
That's among my top 8 favorite Jerry Rafferty songs.
Hey Jeff, name 3 more.
No.
Baker Street remix.
Yeah, it sounds like we all have a lot of TV watching to do in the next few weeks.
Yeah, so much catching up. Welcome to our new reality.
But not till I listen to all the podcasts I subscribe to.
I was about to say, this is cutting into my watching.
Especially the Gold Key Adventure Society.
Yes. You might want to go back and re-listen to some old episodes that you might have missed.
3 or 4 times
Like,
at various speeds.
Halloween episodes so that you can understand Jess's great Jennifer Tilly impersonation. Go back. Yeah.
Come for the travel news, stay for the Jennifer Tilly.
That's right. We need a t-shirt with that on there. All right. Well, thanks for taking a break from binging all of your Disney favorites to come listen to us talk about binging our Disney favorites. And we hope you'll be back again next week. To make that easier, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button in whatever method you use to listen to us and tell a couple of friends. That'd be great. We'd love to have more people listening to us. And
And my favorite show so far on Disney Plus is Don't Go to Flows.
see you next week. To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.